Yes guys, what's going on? Welcome to AdamMcKola TV. We are back for United Daily Live, and we are back to find out what the hell is going on with this Jadon Sancho transfer. Is it on? Is it off? What's happening? We're going to dig into the latest news on Jadon Sancho here today on United Daily Live. We're also looking at other stories linking Inter Milan with a move for Chris Smalling, loan deals potentially for James Garner and Dylan Levitt, and the talk that United and Raiola's relationship is getting stronger, which could result in a new contract for Paul Pogba, is also floating about. Plus plenty of other things to get our teeth stuck into today on United Daily Live. So make sure you're clicking that like button, you're commenting, you're sharing, you're getting your super chats in, joining if you can. But of course, click that subscribe button as well, guys. We're here every single night at 10:30 p.m. unless it's a match day. Then obviously the schedule is fixed around the match day rather than United Daily Live. But apart from that, we will be live here every single day at 10:30 p.m. to bring you the latest. And of course, when there's breaking news, we go live anyway. So make sure you're keeping it locked and subscribing to keep up to date with all of that, as we are on the road to 100k and getting that plaque for the back over here somewhere. So yeah, get it locked, keep it locked, and subscribe. We're going to start this show with an On This Day, as we always do. And today is the 11th of August. It's the 11th of August. And on this day, we've got two On This Days in the book today. On this day in 2006, Friday the 11th, 2006, Steve McClaren presents Manchester United with a double whammy of a snub. Sir Alex Ferguson's former assistant manager leaves Wayne Rooney and David Beckham out of his first England squad as a national manager for a friendly against Greece. Rooney's exclusion is in the wake of him seeing red in the World Cup finals against Portugal. Ex-Red Becks, who had joined Real Madrid, had been expected to get the call-up to add to the 96 caps he had. Steve McClaren dropping Beckham for absolutely no reason. He had done well at Real Madrid when he first joined them, but Steve McClaren wanted to make a statement. He wanted to make a point, and David Beckham and Wayne Rooney were his fall guys when he first arrived. David Beckham and Wayne Rooney did earn call-ups again, as that Wally with the brolly did soon depart. But Steve McClaren had a great time at Manchester United, didn't he? Helping us to the treble as assistant manager before moving on to, I think, did he come from Derby County and then move on to management elsewhere, or did he go to Derby County after United? I can't remember which way around it was. But when he went on to be the main man elsewhere, he wasn't that successful unless it was in Holland with his fake Dutch accent. We've also got another one here, Sunday the 11th of August 1991. A testimonial match is held at Old Trafford for Sir Matt Busby. Manchester United, with a team including Steve Bruce and Mark Hughes, draw 1-1 with the Republic of Ireland side. So the testimonial match for Sir Matt Busby. What a legend. Football taught by Matt Busby is the Manchester United philosophy and the motto and all that. And what an absolute legend he was for the club. We are going to get stuck into this Jadon Sancho transfer news right now. Let me bring up all of the latest on my phone as we've been going through it all. We've had updates from Fabrizio Romano, we've had updates from Build, we've had updates from all over the gaff in relation to Jadon Sancho's potential move to Manchester United. Now the podcast is that Save the Ball, and Christian Falk and Fabrizio Romano were on that podcast. And Fabrizio Romano was saying, look, the move's been delayed, but it's clear that at the moment Manchester United are still aiming to make this deal happen. So contrary to other reports in relation to deadlines and all that kind of thing, it's not over. United aren't standing by this deadline of the 10th of August. We're trying to push ahead with signing him still, but we're trying to get a deal that is suitable for Manchester United. He's saying that's United's mentality. We want to sign the player, we want to try again, and we are convinced we can do it in the next couple of weeks. United are still thinking of Jadon Sancho as their main priority. And with Jadon Sancho, the agreement is totally complete, including his contract and the agent's commission, despite it being reported, otherwise elsewhere. Christian Falk has also said, I can confirm what Fabrizio Romano is saying. There's an agreement with Jadon Sancho. There were unofficial offers of 60 million euros, 80 million euros with add-ons through an intermediary, which is weird. United are reported in the British press to be disappointed with the fact that they're having to negotiate through an intermediary for Jadon Sancho. Now, Borussia Dortmund are certain we want 120 million euros, which is 108 million pounds. Now, United have come in with lowball offers, 60 million euros, 80 million euros plus add-ons. It's clear they want a deal that is worth up to 120 million euros, with most of it paid up front. I think those reports from reliable sources have been floating about for an awfully long time. United are at the very least going to have to breach that 100 million euro mark to sign Jadon Sancho. And the thing is, we've known this for a long time. It's been reiterated again. I think it was a week ago, he said, Fabrizio reported that a 250 grand a week deal had been agreed with Jadon Sancho and Manchester United on a 5-year deal. That had been agreed. Now he's reiterated that again and said that there's total agreement between the club and the player. So it's as soon as this deal is agreed with Borussia Dortmund, and those negotiations are still ongoing, it's clear that it'll be a very swift deal to make happen once that's done. Now, something that is key in this deal is Jadon Sancho will have to hand in a transfer request, or he'll have to speak to Borussia Dortmund to try and get the move on the way. Now, what we've seen Borussia Dortmund do is put like an artificial deadline in it of August the 10th. Now they've briefed a lot of the press, and you've seen loads of their players coming out today saying, oh yeah, we've read what's been said as well, and we're delighted Jadon Sancho's committed his future to Borussia Dortmund and he's staying at the club for the next season. And the Borussia Dortmund are clearly pushing this narrative that he's staying. He's staying. They've kept a real good poker face. Now what this means is the ball is in Jadon Sancho's court. He has to try and agitate for a move, as well as United having to push ahead and get that deal up into or around the 120 million euro mark. Now I think United are so confident this deal is going to happen that they're dragging their heels a little bit, trying to make sure that the price can stay as low as possible. Now, if Manchester United are doing that, it's because they want to keep a large chunk of their budget for other signings. So if we've got 150 million, let's say, set aside for the transfer window this summer, United don't want to give 108 million pounds of that up front for Jadon Sancho, because then it means we've got less sums of money to juggle about on new signings. And that's probably why we've seen little action elsewhere, because until the Jadon Sancho deal happens, we don't know how much money we've got left over to invest in the market this summer. That's why United are probably thinking, well, if we can get them to take 60, 70 million pounds up front with the rest in add-ons coming in the next 2-3 years, then that will mean they've got more money to invest in the attacking midfielder or the centre-back or whoever else they want to sign. But they may have shortlists, United, of, all right, this is our, let's say, for example, Grealish is our first choice attacking midfielder. Then we'll go for Donny van der Beek if that doesn't happen. And then we've got X, Y, and Z. And depending on how this Jadon Sancho deal is structured, depends on what Manchester United will be able to do in terms of the other players in the transfer market. So it looks like we're trying to push that narrative at the moment of getting Jadon Sancho for less, because we know Jadon Sancho wants to leave just by the simple fact that he's agreed terms with United. We know he wants to come back to England. He's been talking about being homesick. And I think it's been a pretty common theme that Jadon Sancho is going to leave Borussia Dortmund. It's a matter of when, maybe, to Borussia Dortmund. They know they can get 100 million pounds for him next year, so the price isn't going to change that much for them. So it's a matter of United just stumping up the fee now. And we need to go in with the sooner the better, obviously. But we're still involved in the Europa League action. Do you know what I mean? So Jadon Sancho coming in is not going to be able to play in the Europa League. He's currently pre-season training with Borussia Dortmund, getting fit for the new campaign. It's kind of like with Harry Maguire. United were in America. He was on pre-season tour with Leicester. Leicester were briefing that he was going nowhere. And United were, kind of just dragging their heels a bit. And it was kind of like, look, Harry Maguire, or Jadon Sancho in this instance, is on pre-season training. He's not going to be able to play for us in the Europa League. So United are probably just thinking, all right, we can take a week or so to try and get the best deal for us. And in the end, they'll probably end up paying whatever and however Borussia Dortmund want it. But we know this is what they're going to try and do. And in this instance, look, I'd love this to be all over right now. Jadon Sancho to be wearing a Manchester United top and all that stuff. But we're just going to have to be patient a little bit with this one, I think. Reliable sources, though, are saying negotiations are still ongoing. That deadline doesn't matter. Dortmund want this much. United have agreed terms with the player. Now they've got to agree a contract. Payment schedule with Borussia Dortmund. Fingers crossed that can get done very, very soon. So that's the latest on Jadon Sancho, dragging on as we probably expected. This time last week we probably thought he was close to getting done, and now we're a little bit, it's going to drag on a bit now, isn't it? So we know it's going to drag on, but fingers crossed it doesn't drag on too long and we can be back in there, getting Jadon Sancho sorted so we can be back in the market for other players, because that has to be the target as well, getting other business done, because we need more than just one signing. We definitely need more than one signing. Elsewhere today, Sevilla beat Wolves, so our semi-final opponents have been confirmed now for the next game, and that is Sevilla. So we've got a chance to rewrite the football heritage stuff. I'm kind of happy. I think Sevilla are obviously a stronger opposition in European competition, but I hate playing English sides in European competition, because it just feels like a league game then. Anything can happen, and I just prefer playing up against a Spanish or Italian or whoever, but European opposition in a European competition. Now Sevilla's a difficult game, but I'm quietly confident we can beat them when we've got our first strength team. If we create as many chances as we did against Copenhagen, hopefully we score a few more than we did. I think we'd have to be more wary of Sevilla on the attack than we were of Copenhagen, but I'm confident we can get a result against them, so I'm comfortable with the draw. Elsewhere, Inter Milan against Shakhtar Donetsk. I said Shakhtar would get through, United and Sevilla. I got the Inter Milan Leverkusen one wrong. They took an early lead, 2-0. Barella and Lukaku scoring the goals. Havertz did get one back, but they couldn't get another one to force the game into extra time. And Antonio Conte's side head through into the semi-final stage against Shakhtar Donetsk. Shakhtar beat Basel 3-0, I think it ended today. So a great result for Shakhtar Donetsk. And the last four, Shakhtar, Inter Milan, Manchester United and Sevilla. Man United and Inter, if that was a final, you wouldn't be surprised to see that kind of fixture traditionally in a Champions League final. So massive fixtures potentially in the final for United, but we've got to beat Sevilla. And if you beat Sevilla and Inter Milan on the way to any trophy, it's a good run, you know what I mean? You've definitely earned that medal at the end of it. 2 games to go for the Reds. Sevilla, then Inter or Shakhtar if we get to the final. Fingers crossed on that. Can see loads of you guys in the comments. Erwa, Darren, WKB, just another photographer. David's in the house as well. Anthony Jarvis, we've got loads of you guys in the house. Make sure you're keeping it liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, getting your thoughts in. We've got over 1,000 people in. Surely we can hit 500 likes. Get hitting that like button and get subscribing to the channel as well. I'm pretty sure at least half of you aren't subscribed, so what are you waiting for? Hit that red button and get subscribed to the channel right now. Help us on the road to 100,000 subscribers. Elsewhere for Manchester United, there have been links with Inter Milan and Chris Smalling. Now we saw that the move to Roma had fallen through. United had said to Roma, look, you can't register him for the Europa League. They're subsequently knocked out now. But we said you can't register Chris Smalling for the Europa League unless you get a permanent deal done for him. Now, Roma haven't agreed a permanent deal. He wasn't able to be registered for the Europa League. He's been believed that he's going to come back to Manchester United. Obviously, he's probably on holiday at this moment. But Chris Smalling could become the 4th Manchester United player in 12 months to swap Old Trafford for the San Siro as Inter Milan join Roma in the race for the £23 million outcast. So £23 million, good fee if we can get it for him. Inter Milan are targeting another Man United raid this summer, with the Serie A club having joined the race to sign Chris Smalling. The 30-year-old defender was shipped out on loan to Italy this season and impressed during his stint with Roma, despite having fallen down the pecking order at Old Trafford. According to Sport Media Set, they believe that Smalling has caught the eye of title challengers Inter ahead of a potential £23 million summer move. Smalling, a 31 cap England international, failed to impress Ole Solskjaer after his arrival in the United hot seat, with the centre-back once again placed on the transfer list. Inter may be tempted to swoop and bring in another United player for a fourth time. United have been able to bump up Smalling's value after his successful spell with Roma. Now we know other clubs are possible to come in for Chris Smalling. You know, potential Premier League clubs. Fulham, his old club, just got promoted. They probably have a bit of money to spend. Wouldn't mind a little bit of experience in defence. But Chris Smalling being linked with Inter Milan as well. Was Antonio Conte that director of football we got to get rid of all our dead wood? Because he seems to like it, doesn't he? I know Lukaku's not really dead wood. He's a £75 million striker who scores goals for fun. Just didn't fit in with United. But you look at Alexis Sanchez, Ashley Young. Now they were interested in Matteo Darmian. Now potentially getting Chris Smalling off United's hands. And if we can get £20 million plus for Chris Smalling, having gotten Alexis Sanchez off the wage bill, I think that would be a massive move for United and a massive deal as well. We spent, I think it was 12.6 million on Chris Smalling when we signed him. So if you get a little bit of a profit on him, I know the market has inflated now, but if you get a little bit of a profit on him, 23 million is a great value for that, I think. And I think you can get that realistically. I was saying 25 million before, and it looked like we were going to sell him to Roma for around 18. But then obviously United pulled out of that deal, which was good for us, because I think we can sell him for more than that to the Premier League, or as we're seeing now, potentially to Inter Milan, who are also linked with a move for Chris Smalling. So Antonio Conte looking at more deadwood for Man United, but it probably depends on the success of him in the Europa League, because there's rumours about his job being up, you know what I mean? So who knows what happens with that. But Chris Smalling linked with Inter Milan. According to reports as well, United and Raiola's relationship has strengthened, so much so that Milo Raiola reached out to Ed Woodward after his house was attacked. We're hearing talk about Paul Pogba signing a new deal at the club. Now Pogba tweeted earlier saying tomorrow with, I think, like the eyes emoji, which got everyone going mad. But then he quote tweeted and said, "Don't worry guys, this isn't about football." So he's not a contract or anything like that. I think he's releasing some boots or some new Adidas gear or whatever. But Paul Pogba obviously looks destined to stay at Manchester United, looks destined to sign a new deal at the club, and I can't wait for that to happen. I think it will show a massive sign of the direction that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has taken us in, that he's managed to convince him to stay. I know there's other factors to that, and you could argue Juventus not having the funds, Real Madrid not having the funds, but I think Pogba has always wanted to play for a United side that was going in the right direction, fighting for titles, fighting for trophies, and it looks like we're doing that under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And if we can get the likes of Jadon Sancho through the door and other signings like that, then you can start to look at things progressing and potentially us moving on and trying to get that title challenge next season. So, you know, I think Paul Pogba will sign a new deal and we'll get to see him at the club for the best years of his career. But we need to continue this rise, because if we don't, then, you know, our best players will look to go elsewhere to get titles. You know, the Europa League's great, FA Cup, League Cups are great, but you want to be winning the Premier League and Champions League. And players like Pogba, they should be fighting for them. Now, he has a big responsibility as well. I think he's come of the age where he should be seen as a leader in the Man United dressing room. Maybe not by bollocking everyone on that, but leading by example. We've seen him do it for France. He's a World Cup winner. He's won 4 Serie A titles. He's won a Europa League, League Cup for United. You know, he's done very well for himself in his career, but there's still plenty more to come. Now you can see the way Greenwood, Rashford, Marshall all look up to him, but he needs to continue helping to drag this team in the right direction. And I think he's done well since his return from injury, and he's continuing to do that. So long may Paul Pogba reign in that Man United midfield, because it'll be even better for us. And talking about Manchester United's midfield, Dylan Levitt and James Garner have been linked with moves away from Manchester United on loan. Now various Championship clubs have been linked with them. Dylan Levitt has been linked with various clubs. James Garner has been linked with Swansea, Sheffield Wednesday and a few other clubs, and it's looking like that's probably the best move for them at this point in their career to get first team football. I think you begin to see them stagnate in the under-23s, and to see them play in the Championship, hopefully for a team fighting for promotion. You know, if James Garner can go to Swansea, Dylan Levitt can find a similarly set up club like that, or even join one of the teams that has just been promoted, I think that would be good for their development to play, 30, 40 first team men's football week in, week out, and harness their skills and get a little bit of maturity and experience under their belts. But they need to pick the right, the club need to pick the right loan moves as well for them and for their development. You don't want to go somewhere where the manager's going to be sacked 2 months down the line, and then a new manager's coming in and is not really looking to play you because you're on loan and all these kind of things. So you want to go to a right place. I remember Giuseppe Rossi going on loan to Newcastle United, and I think they changed their manager and it just didn't go to plan for him, and he never, I thought Giuseppe Rossi was a fantastic talent. It was a shame he didn't do well at United. He had his injury problems, obviously. Went to Villarreal and actually showed his talent. But I remember that loan move just not going to plan, and from there it just seemed to be his time at United was up. Loan moves can be massively important for you. I know Jesse Lingard is often criticised, but you look at the way he built himself up to play for Man United. He went on loan to various clubs: Brighton, Derby, Birmingham City, I think Leicester City as well. He played for loads of different clubs on loan at a very good level. Learned different things, different aspects to his game, gained that maturity, and then came back under Van Gaal and made his debut for United. Scored a winner in the FA Cup final, scored in a League Cup final. So he's kind of shown a blueprint as well for some of these players. If you want to get recognition and you want to get into that first team, it's not always. You're not always going to follow the same path of Mason Greenwood or Marcus Rashford and get straight into the first 11. Sometimes you got to go away and come back as a man, ready to take someone's spot. And with Nemanja Matic, obviously having a year or two left in him, if that, Scott McTominay, Fred, I don't think either of them have really stepped up and shown that are defensive midfielders for United. And I know James Garner and Dylan Levitt have different roles, but there's going to be some spaces opening up in that midfield soon. And get a battle on your hands with Scott McTominay and Fred, and hopefully we sign someone. They could come back in good shape to do that. So fair play to them with their potential loan moves coming up. Let us know what your thoughts are on Dylan Levitt, James Garner. What do you want to see? Where do you want to see them go on loan from Manchester United? Whoa. So yeah, let us know what you're thinking about that. Thank you for all your comments, guys. My tablet for some reason isn't showing the live comments. They got stored ages ago, so hopefully I can bring them back up on my screen now. Yes, we've got them back. You can see Micah Smith, Ross Murphy, Sean Ralph, all these guys in the comments. Inter want to sign Smalling. What a surprise, says K Struck. Yeah, man. Ross says, you can sign Jimenez and rotate the striking option. Jimenez missing a penalty today as Wolves got knocked out of the Europa League. He'll probably be looking for a move now to a Champions League club, or at least a club in Europe. You could potentially see a few players from Wolves looking to do that. Nuno Espirito Santo's contract is up very, very soon. Potentially could see them looking to leave. Get hitting that like button, get commenting, get sharing, get subscribing. K Struck knows. Ted, how you doing, mate? Thank you for joining us. Jules Koundé in the Sevilla defence looked rapid and decent on the ball, says Aaron J. Ashley says James Garner is class. I'll loan him out. He definitely reminds me of Carrick. And that's what I mean when I say playing in Matic's role. You're not always going to have someone like Matic in there. It's like when Carrick came in to replace Keane. He wasn't the same as Keane, but he's still being able to fill that role in the team and do it differently. And you'd hope that someone else can come in and do that if we can't get someone that is just like Nemanja Matic. Awesomeness. Yes, mate, it's very true. Put a lot more effort into this channel after lockdown, and it's showing now. Thank you to all you guys that have been getting involved, that have been keeping it locked, from the start and all that. Really do appreciate you lot getting involved in the channel. Connor Allen's in the house. Get up, Dosser. Well, obviously you didn't call me a Dosser, but you said Adam, but can't say that without saying that. Thoughts on Chongta? You Werder Bremen rather, says Erwa. I think that'd be a good move for him, Bundesliga action. He needs to play football regularly. He needs to play week in, week out. And I think that would do that for him. For those that don't know, Werder Bremen, they've confirmed that they're in talks with Manchester United for taking Tahith Chong on loan. McTominay was speaking the other day about who he thinks the best player is coming through the academy. And he said Hannibal Mejbri and Tahith Chong, and that surprised a lot of people. People forget, about 12 months ago, we were all raving about Tahith Chong, Angel Gomez and all that. And Tahith Chong had a few games in the first team, didn't quite do what everyone expected him to do. And everyone got on his back. Look, he didn't play well, but he's still got that talent. He's still got that potential, do you know what I mean? Dominic with the super chat says, here's a bag of crisps. I mean, nice one, Dominic. Appreciate your support, mate. Go for Ruben Neves now, says James Powley. That would be a good shout. I'd love that to happen. I just don't see it happening. Joe Trickett, I appreciate that, mate. Thank you for subscribing. If you are like Joe and you haven't subscribed yet, or he's just subscribed now, but you know what I mean, then get hitting that subscribe button right now. Help us get moving up those subs and get hitting 100k. Adam, what's our realistic top centre-back target? Good question. Chris Smalling? Nah, I don't know. I don't think Koulibaly's a realistic target. Gabriel doesn't look like a realistic target. Who was the other fella that we were linked with? Was it Pau Torres? That one's still floating about, but I genuinely don't know. Tyrone Mings was, sorry, not Tyrone, Nathan Ake was spoken about. He went to City. I genuinely don't know. There's no one that screams. I wanted Upamecano, but that's not going to happen. He's just signed a new deal at Red Bull, hasn't he? So yeah. Shakhtar have a very good team, probably the dark horses of the Europa League, says Alec. They won comfortably today, didn't they? Absolutely comfortably. How you doing, Aaron Hunter? Thank you for getting involved. Where the super chats earlier, I probably missed them because of the fact that I was kind of had my thing all slowed down. So let me get into the thing and see if there's any that I missed out on. Apologies if I did miss out on any. I wasn't being rude. If you want to get them in, we got a couple more minutes left of the chat. I'm trying to bring them up now on here. I know what to do. It'll be quicker on my phone, and I won't kill the live stream. Probably makes more sense. Yeah, so the latest news is Manchester United are still in talks with Borussia Dortmund for Jadon Sancho. We've agreed those terms with the player, £250,000 per week on a 5-year deal. That has been reiterated again today by what's his face? Oh shit, you can't do it on here. So maybe I do need to get it up on here. It's been reiterated today by Fabrizio Romano. Fabrizio Romano has said that the terms of their agreed total agreement between the player and Manchester United, but no agreement yet with the club. Now, we're still in talks. Borussia Dortmund won 120 million euros. United want to pay that in installments. They've gone in with 80 million euros so far. They need to up that bid. They're having to use an intermediary, which is what they don't want, which is really strange. Why not just negotiate directly with the club? But there you go. I've found these super chats now. Wait 12 months, offer £70 million. They'll rip our arms off, says Alien Tenno. United versus Inter in the final, says Phil Lopez. Possibly, yeah, but we've got to get through Sevilla first. But I do think if we get through Sevilla, it will be United versus Inter. Then we had someone saying, why are we not after Donny van der Beek? That was Worst Nightmare 25. Maybe because of the fact that we are trying to see how much money we got left over from the Jadon Sancho deal. Then you had Kyle saying, controversial, I want Bruno rested for Sevilla and Mata to start with the rest of the starting 11 except Romero. Your thoughts? I'm not sure about that one, you know. I don't think you rest him. Can Smalling play for us in the remaining EL matches? He can't print. Dominic McGinley, thank you for that super chat. Why isn't it letting me scroll all the way down on these? That's annoying, isn't it? Shit. There's one there that I can't read, which is really annoying. I know a way that I can try and read it. So I do apologise about that, but I can't read that one out for some reason. I'll try and do it. But yeah, United have also, Chris Smalling has been linked with a move to Inter Milan, just to recap for some of you. Them lot are taking all of our dead wood by the looks of things. Alright, so I've got them here now. Can Smalling play? Oh, that was, and then here's a bag. Yeah, I've seen that one from Dominic. So thank you to all of you guys that got your super chats in. Apologies I didn't read them out at the time. Thank you for keeping it locked. Like, comment, share, subscribe. For now, I am going to get out of here. It is 11 o'clock. We'll be back tomorrow at 10:30. I am absolutely sweating. See you in a bit.